as a person involved in that challenge, your focus is that ball.
I mean, yeah.
Not Sue's ball, not Kyle's big feet, like not anything other than the ball. What's up, everybody? My name's Nick.
And my name's Josh.
And we're here to give you
a reality check.
Period.
The episode.
Survivor 47, episode 6. We are here.
We're here.
We are merged.
We are Mergatory. And there's one thing about Fiji and a merge, they're going to go hand in hand like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It makes sense when you don't think about it.
Okay, good, because I'm never going to think about that again.
Exactly. So, Ghana comes back from tribal council.
Yeah.
The first thing I wrote down, Andy Savage, LOL. They opened the scene with him talking about the whole Annika moment and how I've been trying to get her home, get her out and go home since day one. How does it make you feel that we're actually seeing a good side of like a strategic Andy right now?
I mean, it's cool. It's good to see that Andy is like now actually participating in the strategical portion of Survivor 47. And I think we did see a little bit of analytical Andy. I think that he's kind of like, you know, basking in the victory of his blind side a little bit.
I mean, wouldn't you do the same?
Oh, 100%.
Exactly.
The thing that I actually noticed at the start of the episode was, the first thing I wrote was Rachel apologizing for being blindsided.
No, because she was like...
I was like, girl, you're the victim.
You are... No joke, I wrote down, Rachel is scrambling as she should. Rachel's looking for Teeny's lifeline from the previous episode.
No, and neither of them have found it.
Because neither of them had they are scrambling and trying to grab onto whatever they can.
I was just like, Rachel, why are you... Oh, I'm so sorry I wasn't in on the... What? Like,
they don't care?
Like, it's just crazy to me that she felt as though she did them wrong when she was the wronged one in the situation.
I don't know if that was her raw emotions or if that was her little manipulation trying to be like, oh, poor me, poor victim, I'm on the bottom. I'm so sorry. I wish I could have voted with you if I knew that was... Because she was kind of going down the route of, if I knew that's how you were voting, that's how I would have voted. But we all know that's not how you would have voted. You were... Annika was your number one. You obviously were trying to get out Andy or Sam. You wanted the Breadwinners Alliance. I understand, but... I don't know. Like you said, her coming back with the whole apology tour was like, girl, what are you doing?
Yeah, it just felt weird to me. I feel like she should have been a little bit angrier. I feel
pan over to a good boat scene. The boat's coming in. High speed. Pulling right up to camp.
I love a good boat. I love a good boat scene. We get the tree mail that drop your buffs.
It's been 11 days.
Yeah, you know.
Drop them on the ground.
Merge is coming. You know, they're very careful not to use the language "you are merged" because we know that there's so much more coming than just a kind of typical merge.
One thing about this season, there's going to be a twist.
The one thing about the new era is that you're going to have to earn that merge.
And regardless if it's just fighting for an individual immunity once you cut the tribe in half, or if there's an actual fight for the merge.
Regardless if that twist is just normal merge rules, or if it's like actually a twist, which we'll get into in a second here, but it was interesting. I love that moment of the pure just like, because
we made it.
Yeah, like it's such a milestone, not only for the players, but for the viewers as well. Like,
oh, for sure.
We're like now halfway through the game. Well, kind of like
the game has kind of officially started. Like,
yeah, the gear, it's like in that next gear.
We're graduating elementary school. We're going to middle school.
Yeah, like I would say we're like high schoolers now.
Yeah.
Now it's time to play.
Like, here's your schedule. Go swim with the big fish.
Yeah, like it's time to start looking at colleges.
Like, listen, and there you have it. If you're a fan of reality TV from all things Survivor, Big Brother, RuPaul's Drag Race, and The Summit, we're your new besties. Come take a seat on this couch. Come with us, and we're going to show you a little bit about what we like to talk about, and that's the reality tea, mama.
We're here to give you a reality check on all things reality TV. So let's get back into Survivor 47, episode 6.
We pan over to Tuku.
Another pan.
Yeah. All I'm thinking is Tuku reads their tree mail, and they are told that the other tribes are coming to their beach.
I'm like, I gotta make my bed. Like,
sleep up, camp a little, get a little leaves out of the way.
My first impression of that is like, oh shit, like we gotta clean up.
Yeah.
Like, Do you think that there's kind of like a home field advantage going into the merge?
Oh, for sure. Now, Tuku's been there for a while, but
Yeah.
they know the grounds over there. They know what's going on.
Finally, the boats come in.
The boats come, all the
Excited
tribes
for the
land.
boats to come in. Everybody is like, oh my God, it's merge.
The hugs, the kisses.
Everybody's finally together. The tsunami is taking over. And that kumbaya, like we said last time, you better kum that baya, ends very quickly. It is very abruptly.
You're so stupid.
the joyous occasion of the merge is abruptly they're brought back into the game. With
hey guys,
sign.
What's this?
Oh, there's a sign. Like what I want to know is like,
what's that sign there? Did they see them?
Did production just like throw it in when everybody's backs were turned? The sign ultimately says there's an advantage hidden somewhere at this camp, at this beach, where here.
Go find it.
Go, and everybody's like.
I literally wrote down, low-key shook that they all went looking for the idol. Take off.
Wait, I put in quotes, go, and no one moved. There was like a 3-second period where they were all like,
Should we
where
not?
they were like, now? And then it was like, like they were gone. Kumbaya to chaos real quick.
Oh, I like that. Kumbaya to chaos.
That felt right.
No, it felt right to the ear too.
Mm-hmm. It rolled off the tongue.
Listen.
Do you think that like going hard for this advantage is what's your strategy when you hear advantage for today's challenge? Because typically you got to earn the merge. So like what are you going to do?
So in that moment, I think I would have done what everyone else would have done. I would have assessed the people around. If nobody was running for it, I wouldn't have run for it.
Yeah.
If everybody's running for it, I'm sprinting for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to be the target right off the bat. So if everybody's going for it, at least we all have an equal opportunity to find it. Yeah. I don't want to be caught looking for it by myself.
See, yeah, I agree with you, but I also feel like it's like a no choice hunt. Like, go look now.
Yeah.
You're being instructed to do so. The first, I'm taking off. I don't care. I'm going. Like, I see a sign that says go. I want that advantage. Like, it's now public. It's different if you're the first person looking for an immunity idol, or you're the first person looking for a beware advantage, like whatever. Unbeknownst to the group, everybody has the same equal opportunity. Whether or not you choose to run, that's on you. I need that advantage for the merge.
I agree. I agree.
But I see what you're saying. You don't want to put an unnecessary target on your back.
But it was nice to see as a viewer that they weren't just going solo. There was tribe like integration in there, and like there were some Lavo, some Gata, some Tuku all going off on their own doing their thing. The advantage being attached to the buoy.
I love it.
So my thing is, I was waiting for Genevieve and Sam to swim battle it out to get that advantage.
Oh my God.
I was like, they're going to go. They're going to look at each other. They're going to sprint for it.
I wanted a redo of TK versus Asia in the very first episode.
Yes!
And what did we get? Not that.
Nothing. We got nothing to it. But I am happy that I went to Genevieve because, as we said a couple episodes ago, you might disagree, Genevieve is coming to play right now. Genevieve's got her brain on and she's ready to go. She was like, I'm just going to go for a casual little dip. Swim, bam, there's the advantage.
What I thought was funny was that we were talking about a home field advantage as far as the merge goes. Nobody from Tuku found it.
You would have thought that they would have been
random buoy.
Where's that buoy?
Yeah.
I don't know if the buoy was there previous. I don't remember looking at it, but
it's just funny to me. You would have thought that Tuku would have found the advantage.
You would have thunk.
Who'd have thunk it? Not Tuku.
Who would have thunk it that I thought it?
So during this advantage scramble, we kind of teeter off on a side quest.
We do.
For a previous advantage that was found by Mother Susme. And her crime scene cover-up was not as good as we had at first been led to believe.
Yeah, because I could have swore I was fighting trolls, letting them know that Mother Sue
We were in the trenches.
We were in the trenches for the back of Mother Sue. Little did we know there was a little bit more residue than we had anticipated.
She was good until she had to clean the idol again.
Yeah.
That's when the extra residue came out.
Yeah.
And it just got messier from there.
But they were like, we got blood, we got red paint here and there, and then they found the
It's on the well, it's on the tree, it's in the tree.
It's in the sand.
And then they're like, what's this?
Yeah.
And it's a gigantic red paint covered broken vase.
Yeah. I am happy that Caroline and Tiana didn't automatically rat Sue out. So I'm having some high hopes for them to work together. But right after that moment, we had some confessionals with Sue. She was like, I'm gunning for you, Tiana, because I don't trust you.
Well, yeah, we saw that Caroline made it a point to like reinstill that trust. Like, I know what that pain is, and I'm not mad about it. Like, go you, girl power.
Yeah.
Tiana was like, count your days. Like,
Tiana was.
She was like, I'm on to you. I think she's right to be kind of like cut the head off of the snake with Tiana when it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because we saw how quickly she threw Gabe under the bus at the social hour. And they weren't even merged yet.
I still don't forgive her for that.
So we'll see how that plays out. But I loved Caroline's reaction. I literally wrote in my notes, Caroline is a G. Like, she was literally like, that's my bitch. And we're going to ride.
Like, as we go at dawn.
We are grabbing our surfboards and riding the tsunami.
As you should.
We merge. And it's not just Lavo, apparently, that was rubbed wrong by Rome.
Yeah, everybody.
Immediately. It's like, this guy, oh my God.
I didn't expect Rome to be... And listen, I knew that he was going to chat and he was going to get in people's ears because we've seen him do that in the past. But, oh my gosh, give this man an award for how quickly it happens. There was just so much talking happening, and Rome was the instigator of all of it.
You know who really lit the match? Was Kyle.
He did. I wrote down. Listen, Kyle wasn't standing on any BS last episode. Like, he was like...
I was kind of shocked. I was like, okay, King, like... stand on business.
He has a new personality trait coming out.
It must have been that hot dog that rejuvenated him.
That vegan hot dog, that gray hot dog really did him good.
That gray tube toothpaste gave him life. I thought it was genius of Rome to go towards the people who were perceived to be on the bottom. Go to Sue, go to Caroline, and let them know, like, hey, your own tribe is already throwing you under the bus.
Yeah.
Then he started just, like, stretching the truth.
Yeah.
And instead of telling two people, he told everybody a little bit of something.
Yeah.
And it was like the notes were compared.
He thought that he was playing a game of telephone where he was the only one that could dial in, and little did he know.
It was a conference call.
It was a conference call, and everybody was dialed in. Yeah. He said beep boo boo bob.
They said
not today.
Like,
not
it was
today.
Crazy. Like, Kyle even like dropped an F-bomb. Like,
oh my God.
I was like, Rome went and done did it.
Yeah, he did, and he fried himself.
Yeah.
Soul said right to the source, because Soul heard...
Because he's learned. He has learned
I know
all the
how to
shenanigans that he will pull.
Soul knows how Rome is playing this game. And he basically was like, I'm not going to let him just talk, because it's not getting anywhere. And I am very appreciative that Rome didn't let that kind of,
Because last time Soul let it do that, Keyshawn went home. So I think Soul is finally, we said he put his beach towel away, he put his sunscreen on, and he's back from vacation. Like,
he is.
He's here to play, and he's like, I think that he is finding a lot of straight shooters in Kyle, Sam. Like, I think that he's finally kind of digging his heels in a little bit, which is great to see, because I am a big Soul supporter here. We both are.
We are.
And he follows us. Hi, Soul. And so I just think it was really great to see of him not allowing Rome to steamroll his game again.
I agree. Him teaming up with a Sam Kyle, that's kind of dangerous.
I think that Soul was really smart in like allowing the distaste for Rome finally grab hold. I think Soul was like, no, we're doing this and we're doing it now.
Exactly.
Like, it's going to happen. So they get all their hugs and their kisses and their advantages, and, they get settled in at the new Tuku tribe. We still don't know the merged tribe's name.
We don't know the merged tribe's name, but it also looked a little snug in there when they were all sitting around that little...
Well, they went from 6 to 13.
I mean...
Like, they were like...
double it and plus one.
Like double it and give it to the next person.
Yeah. Like, did you see any alliances start to form? I have one written down specifically that I want to touch on that I'm liking so far.
I don't think that, like, anything really like jumped out at me.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I was definitely seeing kind of like the Caroline Sue, like that kind of expansion.
For sure.
Um, and the teeny Sam kind of connection.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. Who did you?
So the one part in the episode that really stuck out to me, and I'm calling it the Well Alliance, because they were all sitting on the well, and it
Oh,
was a group of them, and it was
mm-hmm.
a majority of the group. And I'm not gonna. It's obviously not a real alliance right now, but
It was a
it
mutual
it was a mutual, yeah, it
understanding.
was a mutual understanding that we want Rome out of here, and it
Yeah.
was the Rachel, Tiana, Kyle, Sol, Sue, Genevieve, Teeny, Caroline, and
You
Andy.
know, we could call them the Trojan horse
The Trojan horses of the well.
because they brought that to Rome and took him down from the inside.
I know that's right.
I want to get into this advantage that Genevieve was given. We head over to our first merged challenge,
Ooh.
and it's different. They're saying, Jeff goes, you know what? We're going to give you a merge, but we're just going to tweak it a tiny, tiny little bit.
Ah.
Yeah, they really said the merge went from the merge battle to a merge with a food reward. That's kind of
Yeah.
what the twist really was.
But this also isn't the merge food reward, because he did say that your merge feast isn't this reward.
Yeah, so I'm curious whether or not like they're gonna still incorporate the double tribal, because based on like the production schedule, the reason that they sent two people home was because they have less time to film.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we're gonna see that like possibly next episode. We're still gonna get like they're gonna split them again and then
Yeah.
do two tribals, two immunity necklaces. I would love if that was still a thing. For the first time, back in the new era, I believe, was a schoolyard pick.
Schoolyard pick. Yeah, we don't see any of
Yeah,
it.
they gave us a schoolyard pick and they're like, okay, here are the teams.
Yeah.
Like at that point, you should have said, let's just draw for teams, whatever. They did release the footage of the schoolyard pick, which we're going to be reacting to. There will be a video about that. If it's posted, here it is. If not, keep an eye out for that. I love the idea of a schoolyard pick. What do you think? Do you like
No,
them?
I love the schoolyard pick too, because it shows your connections. It kind of forces you to like show your hand, and we all expect one or two people to work together, but when it gets from, I'm picking this one person to, okay, now we have to make a team of 6, like,
Yeah.
listen, you can make or break a team with a schoolyard pick with just one person. So I
Yeah.
literally texted him and I was like, because they panned to such like an intense commercial of the summit, and I was like, did they just stop the show? And then like I was so confused for
I
a
was
sec.
like, I was like, what? I was like, I'm literally watching the challenge right now. Like,
I was like, what's going on?
Yes.
But I just didn't like how we didn't see even a light glimpse of it.
yeah.
So after the schoolyard pick, we have the yellow team, we have the blue team. The yellow team is Sierra, Rachel, Sam, Sue, Kyle, and Teeny. And the blue team is Rome, Caroline, Andy, Gabe, and Sol, with Genevieve sitting out, automatically going to phase 2 of the merge challenge.
This is what I want to talk about. Is this advantage too much? Reward and an immediate boost to the final part of the challenge. I feel like it should have been one or the other. I think it's the food. I feel like they should have just let her progress to the individual portion. You didn't earn that food. Like they're in the mud. And not even just like, ooh, the mud, like the mud. Like
that was some thick mud.
Like it was soupy.
It was I'm not gonna lie, it looked nasty.
No, like it looked like fermented. Like I don't know. I just felt like it was a really big advantage, and I get it. It's the merge. It's a big moment for the players, but I don't know. There was just something about it that was like, oh my god, she gets all that.
It was a lot, but at the end of the day, anybody could have found that advantage. Anybody had the opportunity to get that. And honestly, Genevieve is one of the people that had a disadvantage to find that advantage because she didn't even know the camp. Like,
yeah,
I'm not. Could they have maybe given her some kind of choice of that sense? Yeah, they could have done that.
That would have been cool if it was food or you can compete. You pick. That's your advantage. Kind of tempt her with the food or tempt her with the idea of safety.
Yeah.
I feel like that would have been production if nobody's ever going to watch this from production. But if you're watching this, I feel like, what do you think about that? Like, I feel like that would have been really cool.
What would you have chose?
I feel like just from, you never know. in the true moment of it. But it's the merge. One person's going to be safe. Like, I feel like I'm going to go for it.
Yeah.
Especially because
you already know your chances are cut and happen
yeah.
a better
Yeah,
way.
you already have 6 less people competing. So I feel like, especially from my point of view, it wasn't a super labor intensive individual immunity. It was balance and holding a ball. Yeah. So that's kind of something that I would feel more comfortable doing. Feel like I had a better chance at.
Yeah.
But if it was like a pole hang where they're like,
you're like, I'm taking the food.
I'll take the quesadilla. You know, like whatever the food was. But let's get into this challenge. What did you think?
The challenge was neck and neck.
And it was dirty.
It was dirty. It was nasty. It was rancid. They had to crawl. They looked physically exhausted because, you know, they had to go under the mud. Then they had to go up and over the wood chip piles. And then they had to run, jump, pull yourself up the wall with the...
And the hook with the bag.
And the hook with the bag. And, oh my God, I completely forgot about the hook with the bag. Yeah,
it was
kind of a lot.
It was a very, like... if you listened to the On Fire podcast episode this week, Jeff said we designed it to just be draining. Like, and it looked it. Like, those bags of coconuts that they were bringing with the ball in it, oh my God. Even I was watching it with my mom and she was like, oh my God, that looks heavy.
Like Soul was using all of his strength to pull that up. Yeah. All I gotta say is that I am proud of every single castaway that competed in that challenge because there wasn't one slow link. Everybody was moving well. Everybody was exactly. Like even Caroline and Sue, they're on opposite tribes. They're both considered to be the weaker women from the fandom. Unfortunately, we don't believe that. No. But you know, Caroline got up that ramp. Sue got up that ramp. They all did their thing. And it was really down to the last wire. I was really impressed.
I was really impressed too. That's what I wanted to touch on too. We kind of see them neck and neck until we get to this like American Ninja Warrior style ramp where they have to like the warped wall where they have to like run and jump to the top. We see the yellow team take a slower approach and stack their like usable sandbags to give them a little bit more leverage, whereas the blue team, they just like fully sent it and like everybody climbed up. I have written in here the Gabe Caroline push.
Oh, that
was so flawless.
Yeah,
just like
I want to know if that was a one try thing or not.
Like it was literally as if Gabe was a basketball player and he used Caroline as a basketball to lay up. He was like,
he said alley-oop.
Like he literally alley-ooped her. My notes from the challenge overall is like the immunity necklace is actually terrifying. I just want to put that out there.
Not a fan of it.
Not a fan. My heart was racing the whole time. And then we get to the puzzle. This is what I wanted to really talk about. Is like, even though we saw the yellow tribe take an additional step that the blue team didn't have to, they're still meeting at the puzzle at the same time.
Yeah.
Which was kind of crazy.
They were very close to that puzzle. And on the puzzle, you had Gabe and Rome for blue. And then you had Sam.
Puzzle King Rome.
Puzzle King Rome. And you had Sam and Kyle for yellow.
Yeah.
The thing is Rome, I don't think, is as good in that clutch position as he thinks he is, and he gets very frantic. And you could tell that, like, Kyle and Sam were working very well together. Like, they were holding on to the piece and holding on to the rope. Like, they were trying to get as much, like, power over
They just had a really good understanding of, like, what their job was.
Exactly.
It was not an individual game. Like, it was you needed both of you to complete that final kind of maze puzzle.
It was teamwork. That was teamwork for a fact. And this is now the third time that Rome is in a position where he's doing a puzzle and you have Soul right next to him saying, can we switch out? Can we switch out? Can somebody get in there? And, you know, Rome is not one of those people who takes direction very well when he's under pressure because he was snapping back immediately. He was like, Soul, bro, stop talking. And I was like, dude, like right now, like you're kind of being frantic right now. You don't have control over this ball.
Yeah, like we saw Soul talk about how he has had to do a lot of meditating out on the beach, and I'm like, I'm sorry, if you're gonna do a frantic ass puzzle like that, give it to the guy who meditates. Like he's gonna be calm, you know, he's gonna be able to kind of like control his temper.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I think gets Rome in a bad spot is like he wants that glory more than he cares to like be liked by people. So when it's getting to a point where like he sees that slipping away, it becomes everybody else's fault, and he is just kind of like, you see in movies where they're like holding somebody with a rope and the rope is slowly slipping, and he's like, ugh, like trying to hold on as best as he can.
That's him.
And that's him. That's how it makes you feel. But again, shocker, Rome couldn't get the puzzle done. And the yellow team progresses to the second portion of this immunity challenge.
They did. And right when the blue team saw yellow team win, I don't know if you caught this, but Gabe, I literally wrote it down. Gabe has a temper tantrum.
Oh, we got a lot of sore losers on this drive.
We got a lot of sore losers, but Gabe was he started like whipping that. I don't know what it was, but he had something in his hand and he whipped it on like the side of where they had to climb. He was like physically distraught that he wasn't in that second phase of the individual immunity portion of the merge challenge.
It's a tough loss, especially like the game for the castaways now, like it's real.
Yeah.
Like you're not in tribes anymore. This is like that first kind of like what's that? Like that's the money. Like you can feel it. It's like those burners are turned on to high, and like it's now gone from a marathon to a sprint. Like,
oh, for sure.
So I would be frustrated too. I mean, especially being partnered with somebody like Rome who doesn't let you breathe. Like I would have been frustrated.
So we get to individual immunity, and it is the classic balance bow. You have to hold the bow.
Okay, balance bow.
Balance bow. Listen, the BB, you're on the little platform. It gets smaller as the time goes, and you got to balance a ball, and it can go either side. I want to know how you felt about this, but you see Genevieve just walk right up there, not a hair net, looking and everyone. Oh my god!
Looking like she just stepped out of a Pantene commercial.
Yeah,
she's like,
I'm giving my bow and ball, and then it's everybody else. Like I couldn't not even recognize Teeny.
Oh my god!
Couldn't even recognize her.
I was like, wait, who is that? Like it was so bad. I had to keep looking at my notes of like who was on what team. And it was like between Sue, Teeny, and Rachel. I was like, is that Rachel? Is that Sue? Is that Teeny?
They all had a similar build when they have 10 pounds of mud on them.
Yeah. They all were giving like mud monster. Like, it was trying to focus on your footing, focus on the ball, focus on how heavy it is, focus on if anybody else has dropped. Like,
or if anybody else is talking around you.
Like, oh my God, I can't even imagine with Jeff being there.
Oh my god!
You gotta. I'd be like,
for real.
Like, I would be like, Jeff, please stop, please.
And let me tell you, it looks a lot easier sitting on this couch because I swore I was going to kill the ball balance, and I was the first one out. Nick won.
I have the order here of everybody who drops out.
I do too.
Yeah. So we start the challenge, and pretty much immediately Sierra drops out.
Yeah.
And then we're followed by Sam, Rachel. Genevieve, she wasn't able to capitalize on her advantage, unfortunately. And then our final three is Teeny, Sue, and Kyle.
I'm going to be honest. I expected Sam to be up there a little bit longer. I don't know why.
I don't know why. I didn't feel the same way.
Really?
He just gives me like big clunky man vibes. I didn't expect Kyle to be there as long for the same reason.
No, Kyle gave me that like. I expected him to be there. I definitely thought he was going to. No, for real. I thought he was going to be in the top three. Like,
I didn't.
He didn't move an inch.
Yeah.
Not one time did that man move until right at the last couple seconds.
He just gives me. I think I said this in one of our previous episodes. He just gives me like kind of like gangly, like too much limb to know what to do with type of vibe.
Very big noodle vibes.
Yeah. So I wasn't not expecting him to do well, but like. I wasn't expecting him to do as well as he did, kind of thing.
I can see that.
On the same side of that coin, I was expecting Mother to do just as well as she did.
When I tell you, they pan over, so, Teeny drops out, and we're having a battle right now between Sue and Kyle. They move down to the last platform. Sue's foot looks like a child size 5. So, like, her foot on that little bottom.
Kyle's big toe is probably as long as
He said Bigfoot, like, I'm going on that little tiny balance beam while balancing the bow and the ball. I don't know. I thought there was that little second the ball started going to the edge. He caught that tail end. But wait. Hold on. Back it up. Teeny wouldn't have dropped if Teeny wasn't too focused on what was going on. to the right of her, because if Jeff didn't say, "Oh my God," and there's Sue about to go out, Teeny looks over, and then there goes Teeny's ball.
No, you know what? That's the name of the game. That is what it is. Like Jeff is gonna do what
Jeff is dirty, nasty, rancid for that.
Your job as a castaway, as a person involved in that challenge, your focus is that ball.
I mean, yeah.
Not Sue's ball, not Kyle's big feet, like not anything other than the ball. You know, so I think that was their own fault.
Okay, but I get it. Listen, it was Teeny's fault, but like it's still. I'm like, dang,
it's disheartening.
Yeah, it's disheartening.
Like,
brother, for real. But mother, like, thank you, Sue, for giving us what the
Sue
viewers
was
wanted.
Like,
no, because one thing Sue did was shut up all the haters.
Mm-hmm.
Because Sue, I'm telling you right now, if she won individual immunity, the first one,
be prepared.
You wouldn't hear. You would be sick and tired of us and give us that BLOCK block.
You would have to block us. Sue, so, okay, to wrap up this individual portion, Kyle does come out on top at the end of it. And he gets the individual portion of an individual immunity necklace. So he is the one guaranteed member of this unnamed tribe solidified at the merge. He has the brand new buff. The brand new color is purple.
We love the purple buff.
Yeah, I love purple. I love when they do the cool tones, like purple, green, and like the orange color combos.
I like
that too. I'm not a huge primary color fan, but I liked that we're doing purple. I liked the one that they did black as the merge buffs before.
Oh my God, that was so long ago.
Yeah, Queen, great job. I'm so proud of you.
You killed him, Mama.
We love you.
So we get over to our pre-merge, post Mergatory reward stack.
Yeah, the reward. We get to see this reward portion. It's everybody that competed in the individual immunity, plus Genevieve, and it was a very interesting kind of round table discussion.
Yeah, I mean, as everybody knows, Rome's name was already thrown out, so they kind of just were pushing the Rome narrative, and then Sam's like, okay, I would love to have another, a second name, possibly a third. Is there anybody who's thinking of anything? Before I go into this, Teeny is there, and
drunk.
Teeny knows, drunk.
Teeny is drunk.
But like, Teeny knows that Genevieve and Rome are number ones to an extent, but I don't know. Genevieve looked a little uncomfortable when they were talking about throwing Rome in so hard, and I did notice that Genevieve did all this Rome like advocating in the confessionals, and then when it came to it, when Rome was being drugged through the mud, she kind of just sat there, sipped on her wine, and let the girls talk. Going on to
which I think is smart, because Genevieve could see that it was a sinking ship. You don't want to tie yourself to that anchor.
True.
And next week, if she was so closely related to Rome, it would be, oh, well, let's just go with Genevieve. She's on her own,
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was smart. What was even more iconic than that is we get another Sue Smay bomb drop.
Yeah.
Another record-scratching, wine-spilling, tea-drinking moment from Sue. And she, like you're saying, Sam is like, I would feel comfortable if we had a backup. And Sue goes, okay, what about Andy? And Sam's like, oh. It's again Sue and Sam.
Yeah.
Again. And he's just like he's probably like, this bitch, like, keeps gagging the hell out of me.
Because he was like, well, if it's Andy, it's Andy.
That's the name of the game.
Listen, that's the name of the game, but it's just like so dirty, nasty, rancid. Sam, like,
no, I loved it.
Listen,
but he didn't. That's the thing. He had plausible deniability. He didn't say yes.
No, he said if it's Andy, then it's Andy.
He's like, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna vote for Rome. I'm gonna vote for Rome, and if it's Andy, that's up to you guys. I think it was smart. I think pushing back on such a large consensus at that point is like, oh well, we can't work with him.
I get it.
So
I'm pushing the Andy arc, like the Andy arc and the Sue Smay, like those are two that I really.
Well, the Andy arc is gonna get wiped out by the tsunami, so don't get too comfortable.
Okay, number one. Listen, we are going to be pushing for the conquer of Queen Sue's mother.
The final 3 is going to be Andy, Sue, and Teeny.
We're calling it now.
Soul is going to be final 4. He's going to lose in fire to Andy.
If that happens, I will actually be shook and we will go play the lottery immediately.
If that happens, y'all got to subscribe.
No, seriously. We have another human moment, and this is like the 3rd human moment in a row for Rome. Rome starts crying.
It was not human. It was a crocodile moment. He even said it, my crocodile tears. So we're going to erase that from the human moment counter. It was not. And you know who saw right through it? Was Queen Caroline. She was like, oh, cut to the confessional. This asshole, like, I love, that was one of my favorite moments. He was like, you know, just like my pride. And Caroline was like,
I have. Well, listen. You know what? I got nothing to say, Rome. I'm trying to defend you, guy, but like,
well, we love you, Rome, and I think it was a really smart play because people need different reasons to be persuaded. Some people need really logistical reasons. Other people need emotional. Other people need kind of a mix. Like, and you could see that Tiana and Caroline are more empathetic players. Mm-hmm. So of course you're going to turn up the tears to these people who you need to persuade. I think it's genius, and I think he has a really good understanding of who needs what. I just think, unfortunately for him, that it was already kind of set in motion, and there was nothing that he could have done to kind of like undo it.
I get that. Rome, I'm still giving you a thumbs up.
Oh no, big thumbs up, big thumbs up, for real. I thought it was a very smart play.
You did your big one, and it didn't.
But you know who's bigger? Soul. Kyle's feet. Kyle's feet probably look like that damn vegan hot dog, if I had to guess. I definitely think that there is a unstoppable, palpable wave of pure womanhood that is about to cataclysmically shape the rest of this season.
I'm going to be honest, most of those words he said, I'm not familiar with them, but go off.
Girls do good. Yeah. I think that it's going to be, I think we're going to have a female winner for Survivor 47.
Yeah.
Even though my Survivor pick is not female to win, I think that the way it's looking right now, I just think that the women are really kind of like grabbing the bull by the horns and feeding it a vegan sausage, for sure.
And listen, if there's one thing about Survivor, they're going to have that vegan option.
What I really want to touch on before we head into the ring of Tribal Council is this moment we get with Rome, and production is capital N nasty for this. We have seen a lot of moments where it's like, oh my god, I feel like I'm looking for the idol and I'm going to walk right past it. And then the camera zooms in. Just like these moments where production kind of is in on the joke with the viewer. Mm-hmm. And we saw that with Rome. He's talking about how he's playing on another level and how he feels like he's kind of untouchable at this point in the game.
And this is his game.
This is Rome's island. Listen. And unbeknownst to Rome, everybody is voting for him.
Yeah.
And he is the target.
He is at the bottom of the barrel.
Megan, the target. Like, yeah. And it was just funny to see that moment kind of transfer and continue into how he was behaving at actual Tribal.
He was acting like he was the king of the palace.
It was giving I'm the king of the castle, and you know who was feeding into it? Jeffrey Marie was like, have a seat, bud. Come on up.
Have we ever, and everybody clock this for the record, nobody's ever been able to sit in the seat of Jeff? Why did we just decide? Like,
because I think Jeff is at a point where like he's like, I'm 47 seasons in, I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want.
I mean,
and you could tell that Rome wanted it. Like, Jeff definitely said it as an empty gesture / joke. Like, well, you should just come sit over here. And Rome was like, really? You know, and Jeff was like, I guess. Like, yeah, come on over. You know, whatever. So, and I think the way that Rome kind of broke down the amulet advantage was also very well spoken.
No, he used his game hosting.
He chewed it up.
Yeah, he let the girls know. I know. Honestly, Listen, he said it. I would love to be Jeff's protege one day, and that explanation right there. Although I would never want to see that happen in the
I'm sorry,
history of Survivor.
if I got cast on a season of Survivor and I walk up to the beach and it's Rome and he's like, "Well," I'm like, "I'm good." We see a lot of, again, a lot of confidence at Tribal.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nodding heads, a lot of agreeing smiles to be like, "I know what the plan is tonight." And the plan himself is like,
I know what the plan is tonight. No, for sure.
Yeah.
And I say that. Listen, I say this every Tribal that we see Andy at. That man has a way with words.
You just think he's hot.
Listen, everybody has a reason. Everyone has a purpose.
Mhm.
But that's not just it. You can't deny that that man isn't like. He has good moments.
Yeah.
Like when maybe it's because I'm seeing where he was on day one, episode 1, to where he is now. I am living for Andy. I'm here for him. I want him to get down to final 5 if I could. 4. Shit. You can be in the final 3, just don't beat Mother Sue. Listen, at the end.
Know your place. Yeah, I'm curious to see, like, where, now that kind of the common enemy number 1 was the main target for the first vote, what's going to happen next week? You know, there's no obvious target going into next week. So I'm really interested to see. But unfortunately, this was Rome's end. We did see a very great season from Rome. I don't think we could have stood any more screen time from Rome.
No.
Like, even in this podcast, I will say he took up probably 45% of our discussion.
I mean, listen, he made a name for himself, and I would not be surprised if he was a new era contender to get a call back.
We'll see him again. I think we will definitely be seeing Rome again, whether it's on the actual show or in the kind of like Survivor adjacent events.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed him. I had a very much like love to hate him, hate to love him relationship with Rome this season. Mm-hmm. I think that he made excellent TV and that he played his own game until the very end.
Yeah.
And we had a very amicable reaction from him when his torch was snuffed. I think
very different from the Annika reaction.
Very different.
He was very grateful for being there, very thankful. He was like, I don't hold anything against any of you guys. Have a great game. It's all love. Oh my God, my hairs on my face are sticking up right now, like talking about it. Like, it's like, it really, I'm going to say it, we're going to give him another tally. That was such a human moment.
That, I'll give you that one. That was a human moment as human moments go. I think Rome just has such a love for the game and such like a passion for Survivor that if, as a super fan, if you have to be voted out, a unanimous blindside, you know.
I wouldn't want to go any other way on it.
Oh my God, we didn't even touch on the fact, mid-vote reading, Andy goes, was I the backup plan? And Sam's like, what?
Yeah, there's definitely going to be some conversation of where he got the 2 votes from.
The amulet got used. I think that it was so sneaky, shady, crazy for Caroline and Teeny to both know that Andy was the backup plan and
not
for them to still use it on Teeny.
Yeah, that was sneaky little teen little.
Overall, I really enjoyed this episode. I really enjoyed Rome this season. Congratulations to Rome.
Congrats.
We look forward to kind of seeing what's next for you in the Survivor-verse. And I really, really enjoyed you this season. That has been your reality check for Survivor 47, episode 6. It was a good one. I'm curious to see kind of where the merge will fall. Ooh. We're officially purple. We are in our purple era for Survivor.
Hashtag purple.
Hashtag purple. But yeah, I'm looking forward to next week. Let us know who your individual immunity picks are. Do you like the immunity necklace? Are you excited for the merge? And we're excited to talk about it next week. As always, we'll see you on this couch, and we'll see you for the next episode. Bye.